Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. Reiki with Anna. For today's video, we're going to be doing a distance Reiki session for times of uncertainty. And while I know this is a very present topic for us all, very current topic for all of us right now, I also want this to apply to any times of uncertainty. So I'm going to be doing my best to make this in a way kind of neutral. And I know many of us right now are kind of inundated with what's going on. So I wanted to make this also as an offering to provide some support for all of you, and also maybe not contribute to that inundation, if that makes sense. Making sure very often to wash my hands, and I always make sure that I have clean hands before doing any kind of work on someone, as particularly in-person work. But obviously I haven't been doing in-person work for a while now. But it means that my hands are a bit dry, so I'm just putting a bit of cream on them before we begin. I wasn't going to include this, but I thought it's ASMR too, so maybe that'll be nice. So Reiki for times of uncertainty. For this video, I'm going to be focusing a lot on grounding. And I've actually been focusing on grounding a lot in my previous sessions as well, and some sessions with clients I've been doing recently. Grounding continues to resurface, so I think it's a great practice. And I wanted to say, on my previous video, the Reiki for loneliness, Reiki for lonely times, I've said this in many of my videos, how incredible the comment section is, but that video in particular, I don't know, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I was so overwhelmed with how you responded. And I have my best friend, he watched the video and said, yeah, the video is fine, but the best part about it was reading the comments. And I want to thank you and let you know just how incredibly inspiring it is to see all of you being so unbelievably kind and caring. And I don't know what the comments are like on this video that you're watching right now yet, but I don't know, based on the previous ones, I have a sneaky suspicion that if you go down there, you'll find an incredible community. People commenting on other comments and being so supportive and loving, and I don't know, I just thank you. It makes me feel really so honored. Thank you. So I'm out of incense, but I am going to light a bit of this very old sage that I have here. I just got my hands all dirty. Oh well. And we will set our intention light this sage and set our intention. One of you has asked me where I get my sage from, and I haven't purchased sage in a long time, but the sage that I have is from, I have a little herb garden and I grow some sage and I use that, but sometimes it catches funny and I just want to make sure I'm being safe. This one's a bit safer to use. So I'm going to use this one for the video. Okay. So we're going to use this for clearing, but also for sealing this intention here, and then seeing it through time and space to where and whenever you happen to be receiving this session. So, on behalf of our wisest, most empowered selves, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this Reiki session by proxy for support during times of uncertainty, for releasing control over things that we are powerless to, and for grounding. Here we go. So let's just start by clearing whatever we're coming into this session with that's not serving us right now. So just beginning to clear whatever feelings of doubt, insecurity, uncertainty, if it's available for you to clear. Then hey, we're good, we're done. Next video. Just kidding. It's a process, isn't it? You know, some days you might wake up and think, you know what, it's okay, I give over to my powerlessness in this situation. And other days, sometimes for no reason at all, we might feel it's a lot harder to let that go. It's a lot harder to breathe through those doubts, that fear, those insecurities. And so this is here for whenever you need it, whenever you need this kind of offering, whenever you need to take a moment to be reminded of what you already know. Okay. And I wanted to do a little clearing and also grounding spray. So I have tea tree and a little bit of sage and cedarwood in this. So one of you asked on a video where I purchase my sprays, and for a while now I've just been reusing this bottle from years ago and just filling it with essential oils and making kind of different combinations depending on the session or what I'm working through in my own practice, my own personal practice. And but yeah, this original spray was lovely. So it's from the Crystal Garden, and I really liked it, but I wanted to reuse the bottle and just fill it with different essential oils. And bottles are always great, so I never get rid of them. This one, I just try and make sure that I use up what's inside fairly quickly because I don't use any preservatives in this, so just essential oils and a bit of water. Sometimes I will charge that water in the full moon or the new moon. And yeah, that's just something that I do. So I was going to say it's nothing special, but it's very special to me. Unfortunately, I don't have a link where you can purchase it. I know that Angela Mary Magic makes sprays. I've never used them, but you or she commented on my first video over here. And so that's really my only kind of connection, I guess, to sprays. So maybe check her out if you're looking for some really cool sprays and aura mists and things. So for this spray in particular, I wanted to have something, like I said, very grounding with the cedar woods. And I wanted to have something that felt clearing with the sage. And I wanted to have something that felt rejuvenating, because I think something that feels really nice right now is to have anything that's sort of refreshing. I mean, it's springtime, and during times of uncertainty, any times of uncertainty, clarity is really helpful. Anything that kind of provides or presents a fresh start, I think, is really, really beneficial and really helpful. So I've got some tea tree in there for its rejuvenating properties. I'm just going to be spraying a little bit to either side of you. Here. Not getting it on you, just to the sides. And again on my hands. Now I will be drawing the Reiki symbols just with my hand, since I have no incense right now. Just out of the frame of the camera. Here we go, and I'll be muttering underneath my breath, just so you know what I'm doing. I wanted to start this with the Reiki precepts. I think they're very helpful for me, and if you don't like them, again, as with everything, please take what serves you and leave the rest. I find them very empowering, and yeah, for these you can either just listen to them and let them wash over you. You can repeat them after me, either aloud or to yourself, whatever feels the best and whatever you're most comfortable with. Just for today, I will not anger. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will be honest. Just for today, I will be grateful. Just for today, I will be kind. Okay. I'm going to start by using my 2 little selenite sticks. Just very gently combing through and clearing anything very, very, very gently that's no longer serving you. Gonna start at the crown and work our way down. We're just moving through ever so gently, clearing any thoughts, any beliefs, any feelings that are disempowering. Any kind of snowballing thoughts or feelings based on this time of uncertainty, whatever time you're going through, whether it's this present situation or any situation where you feel unsure, uncertain about yourself, about the outcome, and where you might be struggling with trust. Saying this specifically as I'm by your root, in perfect respect and comfort, respect of your boundaries and personal space. But yeah, trust might be coming up here. Having a hard time trusting that things are gonna be okay, that you're gonna be okay. So just clearing anything very, very gently. I didn't want to do any intense clearing today, but very gently clearing anything that's not serving us. And again, I wanted to wear these little bracelets because you guys have been messaging and commenting saying that you really like them for when you're just listening, because then it helps you understand what I'm doing with my hands. I thought that was really nice. So thank you for all of your feedback as always. I appreciate it so much. Okay. Once more above that. And back down. Down, back down. Okay. So for this video, I'm not going to be doing the close-ups of the stones. The stones that I will be working with, I'm just going to show you here and sort of chit-chat about. For this, I'm going to be using a really lovely piece of smoky quartz, and I wanted to use this for grounding and protection. I wanted to use this piece of rhodonite for compassion and for acceptance. So I'm going to be using these two together, and I'm going to start at your crown and work my way down and just sort of run them through your aura, run them through your energy field. And the reason I chose these two stones is because I wanted to invite this feeling of, even though we are in this time of uncertainty, where and whenever you happen to be watching this, receiving this session, even though we are in this time of uncertainty, it's nice to accept it accept it as it is. And that sense of we're in this, we're here. Feel a sense of grounding in the universality of this if you can. A lot of this is just going to be sort of extending in whatever way that we can a sense of personal empowerment into the unknown, into this time of uncertainty, trying to acknowledge what we have no control over, and be present with that. I have no control over these things, whatever that list might mean for you. But then also, I do have control over this. And try and hone in and find that list. And I want to send a lot of really beautiful, supportive energy to those things that you do have control over, to those things that you can use as personal empowerment. And during this time, I think compassion for each other. We're all in this together. Sending beautiful compassion to one another, accepting where we are, and sending compassion to every single person that we share this earth with. And grounding, stability. So taking these stones, this grounding stone and the stone of compassion and acceptance, love, and grounding that here and now. So taking that as maybe an idea, feeling, and turning that into action. So I'm going to start at your crown and work my way down. Using these two stones together, really focusing on the root now here. For me, uncertainty has so much to do with not feeling safe, struggling with trust. So this idea of trying to see what you can do, what you do have control over in your life. It might be a struggle for you to figure out what that is. So if that's the case, I mean, we're all very different. We're all struggling with different things. Even in this specific time right now of uncertainty, everybody's, struggle is different within that. So I know that just from what you've told me in the comments. But so maybe it'll have to be a short list for you, and maybe it will be the things won't seem very empowering. But maybe try starting with breathing, my breath, if you have that available to you. Can I control my breath? Can I just be aware of it? Can I just bring awareness to that? And when I say control, I really just mean that anything that gives you a sense of empowerment, anything that gives you a sense of agency. I don't mean gripped, tight, held control. Just anything that sort of can tether you to a sense of trust, to a sense of movement, to a sense of action, to a sense of empowerment, you know. But, I think a pretty common thing is I can make the bed every morning if you're able to. Or I can brush my teeth, create a routine. I can reach out to people I love. Again, these are examples. Obviously, not all of these are going to apply to everybody. But just any little things that you can do, because they do make a tremendous difference. Inviting agency into this time of uncertainty. I think it's a really beautiful step in the process to moving through it. Okay. And now, because I think this can be a triggering subject, I would like to clear anything that might have come up, and I'm going to be using my owl rattle. And I warn people, just in case you don't like the sound of it, I'm going to be using it for a little bit, so if you wanted to turn down your volume. But I'm going to be starting at the crown and working our way down. And then I'm just going to clear anything that we're kind of shaking up with this rattle, anything that we're shaking loose, and I'll be clearing that, okay? And this is all in perfect comfort and alignment. It's very gently. Solar plexus. And if there's anything here that you feel like you would like to very gently have kind of removed and cleared, you can bring that to the surface right now. Just invite a sense of awareness to whatever it is that you're feeling like maybe you want to let go of. I invite that at this time. So now I'm just going to be using this sage to clear anything that has come up. And for this, I'm going to be starting down by your feet and working my way up this time. Okay. And again, anything that you're going through that specifically comes up when we're talking about clearing or cleansing, anything that comes up, I really invite you to kind of, sit with that. Allow it to come up, investigate it. I absolutely love Tara Brach, and I think she has incredible offerings at this time. Meditations, guided meditations, podcasts. I mean, she's really she has such an incredibly beautiful practice and is so inspiring to me. But she has an incredible practice called Rain. And if you're not familiar with it, I think it's very beautiful and empowering. So I can leave a link to her channel. I'm sure many of you know who she is, and you're like, duh. But for any of you who aren't familiar, I was really grateful that I was introduced to her. So I can leave that below if that's something that you're interested in. She has this practice called Rain, where you recognize, it's an acronym, you recognize whatever is kind of causing suffering or pain. You recognize it, you allow it, I believe is the A, then you, or accept it, then you investigate it, invite curiosity. Why am I feeling this, or things like that. She'll explain it better than I will. And then you nurture it, and it's a really beautiful practice. And she also has a lot of incredible content right now for this time in particular, so I'd be more than happy to share that. Okay. So yeah, just kind of inviting that idea here that we can recognize, accept those dark places. That's why I brought her up. Just kind of inviting that, the beginning of that kind of practice, the beginning of that practice of, I think I've said this here before, but like Mr. Rogers says, if it's mentionable, it's manageable. Mr. Rogers. So just taking that and allowing it to come up as much or as little as comfortable for us at this present moment. Okay. And I'm just going to be doing a bit of a spray. I thought that if I shot during the day now, it would be okay because of social distancing and things, but I apologize for any external noises. It sounds like there's a lot of activity happening. So hopefully the music and maybe my jewelry will not drown it out, jingle it out. Okay. So the next aspect that I wanted to play around with in terms of stones was a feeling of patience during this time. I think, acceptance, compassion, and patience are three, I think, kind of difficult times when we are faced with a situation that feels uncertain. I think when uncertainty and fear creep into a situation, it can be very easy to lose our sense of compassion for one another. And so obviously inviting that in and filling that space up, which is what we did with our previous stones. Grounding, again, very important. Accepting where we are. I mean, very often we can go either way and either live in a sense of denial about what's going on, no matter what that uncertainty is, whether it's financial uncertainty or insecurity, whether that's just insecurity about what's going to happen in the future, if that's something to do with a plan that you've made, or anything, any kind of level of uncertainty that applies to you in your life at the time that you're receiving this session. So it's very common to have a sense of denial during these times of uncertainty. And it's also very common to kind of overcorrect and step into or tumble into a sense of like apocalyptic kind of doomsday, worst case scenario feelings. And I don't want to trigger anybody, and I don't want to make anyone feel judged or bad or anything like that. So I hope that you're receiving this with that understanding. But I think very often we can kind of, as a coping mechanism, step into either denial or step into a sense of projection and maybe worry, fear, all of that. So these are two things that it's very possible for us to step into, and that's why I think acceptance is a very important thing, to just sort of sit in that, in the truth of right now, sit in the truth of this moment. And if the truth of this moment is that you don't know what to believe, then try, if you can, to sit in that. It can be very tempting to want to see things more clearly, have control over the situation. And the reality is sometimes we don't have that luxury. So right now, I think if this applies and feels empowering to you, I invite you to sit in the acceptance of whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, even if that thing is uncertainty. And with that, I'd like to invite what I have these two stones here for. Very long-winded. But I have these two stones here, and I'd like to invite these in to do a little bit of work in your aura for inviting patience. Inviting patience. I have these two stones, and more than anything, I'm going to use them as a representation for two elements. So I have this petrified wood, and I'd like to use this for, wood, for trees. And this stone, garnierite, I think we've decided, green moonstone. This stone, I would like to invite in for water, for this feeling of fluidity. So what can we learn from the trees, the woods, and from water? I mean, from nature in general. It's like, I can't remember who said this quote, but I think I read it on a tea bag or something. Like, nature doesn't rush, and yet everything gets done. Or something like that. So what I wanted to do for these two is just invite patience. Patience. Patience is very, very, very challenging, particularly today, in today's society. But really, patience is, it's not valued very much. It's not valued very highly. Maybe you value patience, and that's incredible. But let's just invite patience here. There might not be anything that you can do right now to improve the situation. And if you're a fixer, if you're someone that wants to have an answer, this could be very, very triggering and very, very challenging. So this ever so gently inviting patience into this moment, embracing that patience, is very challenging for all of us, I think. Maybe not for you, I don't know, let me know. But it can be very challenging. Want to take action. Even the sense, I have spoken to friends and a few clients who have this rumbling feeling, this urge to, well, now that I have the opportunity to be home, I need to do all these things. I'm gonna, repaint this, or learn how to do a handstand, or read all these books, or start a blog, or whatever it is. And I encourage you to do whatever feels right in this moment. But if these are things that are causing you discomfort, making you feel like if you don't do them, then you have a sense of a lack of self-worth, if it's tied into your self-worth in any way, I just want to invite more patience. We're coming into your heart space. In your heart space, swirling around. Patience. Patience. If you want to, begin a meditation with an affirmation, it says, just for today, I will be patient. Why not? Sure, take whatever you need. Just for today, I will be patient. If that feels false, you can say, just for this moment, I will be patient. Just for right now, I will be patient. Just for now, I will be patient. Okay. So I'm going to be placing this septarian just by your feet and allowing this energy to create kind of an orb that comes upwards, up starting at your feet and kind of radiates outwards, kind of engulfing your entire being. Okay, so that energy is just going to radiate upward and outwards and fill your aura and your being from below with very grounded and supportive and safe energy, a sense of safety, a sense of a safety net. It's really beautiful energy that this stone has, and it's there to provide real support and safety for all of us, which is, I think, something that we all really need right now. And I'd also like to invite Unakite here. I used Unakite in a video recently, and this is a beautiful stone. It's a jasper, beautiful green and pink colored jasper, great for the heart center. And I love this for working together, working with others. But I wanted to invite this in for a sense of harmony, for a sense of togetherness, to see that we are all in this together, and that any fear that's based on the other, that's based on separating and creating an other, that instead if we can unite and come together and see that we really all do need each other. I wanted to invite this stone just to kind of bring an awareness to that, even if we know that. Just knowing that if there is a beauty that we can see in this time, maybe that beauty is that people we've never met, never thought of, from countries we might not even be able to locate on a map, might be sharing a lot of our same exact fears, same to a T exact insecurities and uncertainties right now. So maybe we can allow that to be a point of gratitude in all of this pain right now. I'm going to place this at your heart center in perfect comfort and love. And then I'd like to work with 2 stones, sort of placing them or working with them from opposite sides of the spectrum. This lovely piece of red calcite. And red, calcite is very cubic, kind of, everything has a place. And it's very gemmy and almost like candy. I love calcite so much, all the calcites. And this red calcite is a really lovely one for grounding and for trust. I love using it for that. And so I'm going to be working down below and then using this amethyst to comb through, starting at your crown. And then we're going to kind of work these 2 together, and we're going to meet just at your heart center. So the idea here is as above, so below, bringing that which is beneath and that which is above together. Okay. My camera died. So we're going to start at the top and down here, and we're going to meet in the center. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just going to be placing my hands on you. Drawing the symbols in my hands, starting at your crown. place my hands on your throat. Just a little bit away from your throat. I just want to clarify that I'm not causing any discomfort. And here, just inviting any thoughts that feel disempowering, or any thoughts that feel like some thoughts during this time can really invite a spiraling. It can really force us to spiral into, a real lack of trust. And so, just grounding those thoughts in what we do know. Grounding those thoughts in this present moment. And just asking ourselves if they're of use to us. In service of our wisest selves. Hope that makes sense. Just going through your chakra points here. Balancing. So any points that are overactive, for example, if your root is overactive, then maybe you're feeling a lot of anger right now. Then we are just soothing that and sending balancing energy there. And if anything is underactive, like underactive in terms of the root chakra, would be feelings of a lack of safety, a lack of support. Then we're just activating that. We're just sending that supportive energy there and activating that sense of safety. So again, drawing the symbols in my hands. Now we're going to seal this. I'm going to be spraying on either side of you. And down by your feet. Okay. And we're going to close with the affirmations that I like to do for each of the chakras. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative. You are safe. You are safe. I want to thank you so much for being here. If, as always, you have anything that you'd like me to focus on for a session, please leave it down below. Again, I have a list going of things I'd like to do for you all, but I thought things, certain things that more pertain to the here and now, they felt more right to do right now, but maybe that'll change. So please leave any suggestions, requests, ideas down below. And if there's anything that you feel has been supportive and empowering during this time of uncertainty, if that's what you're experiencing right now, please share. There could be incredible, and I know there probably will be, incredible insights that you have to offer so that other people can, benefit from them, and I can benefit from them as well. So I thank you in advance for that. And I thank you for your love and for your support of me. And just know I'm sending you so much love and so much support right now. Whenever you're watching this, but it's a wild time, and I want you all to know how much I appreciate you taking this time out of your day to be here with me and with each other. So, sending you all so much love, and I will see you very soon. Okay.